Ding, 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 ding. Good morning, everybody. For those who don't know me, we have a couple people new to the group right here. I'm Mark Merrion, HVAC service for the group, better otherwise known as heating, air conditioning, ventilation. I also have a /R on my title, which is refrigeration. I've been doing this for close to 30 years. Over 30 years. A lot of new things have been hitting our trades lately. A lot of people complaining about, a lot of people not understanding what's going on. As I've been talking and letting you all know about the new refrigerants that are going to be for 2025. They're what's called classified A2L, which are called mildly flammable refrigerants. You really don't need to be afraid of it to have flammable refrigerants in your home. We've been using propane in your home refrigerators for years, but at that your home refrigerator it's only made ounces, only about a half ounce to 3/4 of an ounce of refrigerant. The homes for your central air you're using 14, 16 pounds of refrigerant, so it's considerably amount more. But once again, it's mildly flammable. There's other more flammable stuff in your house that can cause bigger problems. The biggest problem we're having with this is the manufacturers have almost depleted already of the 410 systems, which is the second older refrigerant. A lot of chat on our Facebook pages that people are ordering equipment, they can't get it. When they are getting the equipment, it is with the new refrigerant. There's guys that aren't even certified on this stuff yet, so they can't get it from the manufacturer. The manufacturers are going in, I need a new unit, oh we don't have the 410 units, we already have the R32 454B, whatever the heck the other refrigerant name is, and they're like, well we can't sell them to you because you're not certified on it. It's a joke. It's
wow.
Like, yeah, so they're scrambling for classes to get everybody certified, and it's not I'm going to call it not a serious certification. I don't even know if they can legally make this particular certification stick, because once we're certified as a universal technician, which I am, most of the guys are certified universal, which is the highest level. That creates an umbrella under all refrigerants. And I can believe this new stuff is a refrigerant, so technically speaking,
They just want you to know how to handle it, I think.
correct. It's a handling thing. That's all that it really is. To let the technicians know for safety issues. It's more of a supplemental type thing, and I think if he doesn't go, I think in 6 months from now they're all going to forget about that was a safety course. But the new stuff is out. It's trickling in as the old supplies are running low. Here it is. Different manufacturers have decided on using different refrigerants, so it's going to add to the cost, because now technicians, my service trucks are going to have multiple bottles of stuff on the truck, you have different logs, so it's just more time, more effort, more money. One of the other things has really hit our industry hard is the electric motors. All the electric motors in our furnaces now have to be what's called an ECM motor, which is an electronically controlled motor. Old motors used to be PSEG, they had 3 speeds. Electric goes in, electric comes out, boom, boom, and it runs the motor. New ones are all, as it's called, electronically controlled. It's computer driven. Computers on the inside. There's all kinds of sensors in them. We went from a motor that was $79 off the shelf. I just was at Carrier and had one of the owners of another company, almost his jaw hit the counter. $1,300 for a standard motor. From $79 to $1,300. Good old frickin' government demanding these high efficiency motors.
You're paying one way. You're paying one way or the other.
Exactly. I thought since the ECM motors have come out, I thought, that was probably 12, 15 years ago, I thought by now the prices of these things would have been dropping, and they're not. They just keep adding more and more technology to these things. Rheem Rudd is all one manufacturer. If you go to the supply house and I go to pick up a motor for Julia's rental property, they have to take that motor from Bordentown, send it out to Lakewood, have it programmed with the serial numbers and everything into the motor, then bring it back to Bordentown, or I can go pick it up at
So
Lakewood.
there's no late night install.
No, you're done. It is just, I don't know who thought of that idea, but they should be taken out and hung, because you can't do anything. There's no emergency kit. We all have them on our trucks as service techs. Is emergency kits, so night boxes we call them. This is universal. It'll work. It'll get you through the night, and you got heat, you got air conditioning,
Nothing.
you got whatever. Them days are gone. They have made this stuff so OEM only. You cannot mix, match, do anything, which is a shame, because I do a lot of inner city work. I'll call Trenton, Lawrence, Ewing, and you try to get some generic part for something, you can't do it anymore. You can't save anybody $1. And on the other hand, who's this coming down to? It's the customer. It's either you're paying for this technology, paying for the equipment, paying for what you got to do, or you're paying the utility, which is probably a good thing in the long run. But when these things go down, they are costing a fortune. So that's pretty much it. We have some newer stuff coming on out for indoor air quality, some new ultraviolet lights that are, instead of 1 year lifespan on the bulbs, they have 2 and 3 years. They're 2 and 3 times the cost. The manufacturers aren't losing any money on this stuff, but it's a convenience thing. So if you have to pay, instead of $70 for a bulb, you're paying $210 for a bulb, but you're only doing it once every 3 years, instead of having somebody do it for you every year, so you are savings. The manufacturers, they know. They're going to get their money no matter what. But besides that, I know Ralph has a question.
Yeah. I mean, it was a completely divergent question, but we installed new window air conditioners, the media, the U-shaped ones that they have, and they're beautiful. I mean, 16 Sears, but I came downstairs one night, and it was the middle of the night, 60 degrees outside, whatever, and it was warm in the room. I said, what the hell? Let me see what I can do. Turn the damn thing on. It works beautiful. I don't understand it. Why it shouldn't be working below 70.
No, actually, air conditioning, the colder it is outside, the better it is, the easier the unit's working inside. They work off a temperature differential, and once you transfer your heat from one spot to the other, one of the rules of thermodynamics is hot always travels to cold.
Right.
No matter what. You can't make cold go to hot. Hot has to go to cold. So if it's colder outside, and you took that refrigerant that was inside, you compress it to a spot this big, it's 210 degrees, you put it to that coil outside, you got colder air going through it, it's going to work even better.
See, I thought that you couldn't turn on an air conditioner below 70 or something like that.
No, you could always turn them on. The problem is you can't get good readings to properly charge them below 70.
Okay.
Because it's out of the range of the chart. We have guidelines, we have to fit how much refrigerant goes into the unit, and it's got to be within a range. Well, once it gets below 70 degrees, take that range and throw it out.
Okay.
It's the example, at 70 degrees, I have a window this big to get my refrigerant in. At 90 degrees, that window is this big.
Gotcha.
At 110 degrees, you got about a 2 PSI pressure differential that you have to be within. But what, like I said, below 70 is this big, and then you're never going to hit your target where you have to.
Gotcha. So I'm not damaging the unit.
Yeah.
No.
overcharged units, which normally happens a lot of times. If it's too cold out, the pressures are gonna look low. I've been doing this for over 30 years. I get down to 65 degrees and I'm guessing the older equipment I'm pretty good at, and I can say, yeah, 60 degrees out, yeah, I should have this pressure.
Right.
It's been pretty much a standard, like rule of thumb, you could do this. There's new equipment,
That's it, you
no.
run it out.
They don't have regular coils with tubes, they're flat micro channels, all made out of aluminum. You're not guessing at these things. 2 weeks ago, I brought in some of my new equipment, digital gauges, digital scales, digital temperature, digital everything. You can actually go to my phone app and say, this is the manufacturer, this is the temperature outside. I take a wet bulb temperature, which is actually the humidity level inside the home, put that in, and it says, okay, the pressures have to be this. You hook your bottle up, you hit the button, it automatically puts the amount of refrigerant that needs to go in, shuts off, and
Wow.
yeah, it's to that.
So you're not turning a knob anymore and just guessing?
No. The rule of thumb days are gone. We used to have a terminology, I still do with some of the newer stuff. We used to charge a unit till the refrigeration lines were beer can cold.
Right.
If it was beer can cold, it cooled the house, and
Right.
you were fine, and it was going to be good. You
You're
can't
not doing it
you
anymore.
can't beer can cold anymore. It's just critical. And a lot of other industries you talk to, everything is now, it's gotten better for the better of things, but the maintenance on this stuff has just gone crazy. You get dirty condenser coils, your outdoor coils, they get dirty, you're losing 20–30% of your efficiency. You're losing 15% of your capacity. Well, now this unit's running longer, it's not only is it running longer, it's costing more to run. Well, what did you actually save? Because you didn't save anything, because now your utility bills just went up because you didn't do what you're supposed to do. Speaking out of category, I'm good friends with Jason Pelicano, who used to be in here. They're doing a lot of tankless water heaters. Great idea, you don't have a tank, you don't have that loss of temperature, so you don't have to continually make up water. But these tanks today, you lose 1 degree every 5 hours off of a tank. They're insulated so
well.
It's crazy. But everybody's got these tankless water heaters. If you don't run muriatic acid and flush these units out every 2 years, 5 years you're taking these units that are $4,000 or $5,000, take them, throw them away. It heats the water up so fast, it leaves the minerals behind in the heat exchangers, and they clog up the heat exchangers. So it's where did you save? How much did you save? Because now what you saved on your utility, now you're paying in maintenance to try to keep this thing running properly.
So then you have to flush the regular one.
Exactly. There's no.
Every 5 years.
Depends.
Yeah, but you flush the other one, the regular ones, just by emptying the water.
Yeah,
Correct.
Yeah.
you do it yourself, you don't have to pay somebody to do it.
I mean, these new ones, if you see these new ones, they have all kinds of valves off the bottom. They're what's called isolation valves. You hook up a mini pump and you circulate muriatic acid through them for 5 minutes. When you're done with that, you throw that bucket of muriatic acid out of your cap and do whatever. Then you have to run a bucket of with baking soda and water in it to flush it, so the acid doesn't hurt the coils. And then you run the water for 10 minutes.
You're saying the homeowner can do that?
No.
No.
Yes, a homeowner could do it. The kit is about $400, and you know, it's a bucket, it's a pump, it's hoses, it can be done.
Ralph could do it. But
I'm sure Ralph could do it.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people in here could do it. The issue is,
do you want to?
once again,
Absolutely.
we had a big thing in our industry years ago, electronic air cleaners. Everybody had electronic air cleaners on their units. Okay, great. They worked for 3 months. If you didn't take them electronic air cleaners, take the cells out and clean them properly, they weren't doing diddly-do.
If you do everything you need to do, there could be some benefit, but yeah.
Exactly. It's
Have a service contract.
that's the point I'm getting to. If you're gonna get this high efficiency equipment, it can save you money, but then once again, once you're saving your money, you're paying money for somebody to come out and service the unit. So you're gonna be neutral. You might come out slightly ahead. Is the new units quieter, better? Yes, they are. So you're gonna get some peace of mind. There's gonna be some good, but everybody thinks, oh, I'm gonna get this 1820 SEER air conditioner, it's gonna be great, and we going out and we do a free year follow-up maintenance, make sure everything is operating properly. They don't call us for 4 years because they don't want to pay for their maintenance agreement, and 5-6 years down the road, my air conditioner's not cooling. We go on out there, capacitor blew up, coils are completely packed with pollen and garbage and everything else, and we're wondering why this happened. Because you didn't have your maintenance done. Well, if I would have known, well, this is what
You talk to people at the time of install about it.
Not only that, they get their free, and after that, I call them again and try to get them to do it and explain why. Condensate lines get clogged up very easily, and then they leak, and depending upon where your heater or air conditioner is, they could leak into your ceiling, through your ceiling, into rooms. We've had that happen too, because people don't do their maintenance.
just like a car.
Actually, you need to call me with
And all of our
something.
manufacturers have all
Oh,
gone
yeah,
to
you
a
know
10-year
that.
warranty. Everybody. I don't think there's a manufacturer out there that doesn't have a 10-year warranty.
What was it before?
Fives,
Five.
ones and threes, but they all have gone to a 10-year warranty. They all used to have motors that you oiled. You all probably remember, your parents' house, where you have dad, mom, whoever, come on out and oil the motors in your. Well, they went to a 10-year warranty. They come to find out, if you don't oil these motors in 5 years, the motors are burning up. The bearings are seizing. So I said, well, we got a 10-year warranty. What do we do with this? Well, we're gonna put sealed bearings so that you can't oil, but they're gonna hold enough oil for about 12 years. Got them past their warranty. They got a 10-year warranty on it. But now in 12 years, you're replacing this motor. Such as in the case of, I just said about this Carrier motor. Cost was $1,300. The guy was on the phone with the homeowner. I'm sitting there, I'm laughing. He was in front of Don over at Pierce Phelps. And the guy's telling him, do me $2,300 to do the motor. The guy says, I hear him on the phone. What the? Are you nuts? You gotta, I'll call somebody else.
Good
I'll
luck.
call somebody else. Because you ain't gonna get that motor cheaper than $1,300 by the time somebody puts some markup on it. Some of the time puts that damn motor in, does everything that needs to get done. Good luck. Have a great day. We're not out here doing this stuff for free anymore.
So some of the old equipment is actually in some ways better.
In some ways, yes. On the other way, hand that half your heat, half your whatever is going either out to the utilities, up the chimney. I just saw. It was a really.
I can pollute the environment or I can survive
I just saw a
financially.
video on my Facebook timeline or Reels, whatever it was. It was funny because an appliance guy finally has a new electric range that people have been dying for. It has no computer, no nothing, standard knobs with regular resistors, nothing to break in this damn thing. And people are wanting to go back to this because everybody's sick and tired. Oh, my touch panel's not working. This is not working. It's the same thing with our equipment, but we've been mandated to hit these energy efficiency levels that are, some of them are just so high, we're really stretching to get to them. And
Right.
they're stretching, I'm not gonna say technology, but they're stretching the point of the actual physical units. They're really taxing on the compressors, the coils. They're running pressures that we never seen before. The old refrigerant, the all R22, we used to see on the high side. There's two sides of the compressor. The high side pressure we used to see 170, 180. The R410, the refrigerant's just been phased out. We're seeing 400, 410. This new stuff,
Pressure.
we're seeing pressures close to 500 PSI.
That's an explosion. I mean, you know.
Theoretically, these coils should hold 700-800 pounds without a problem. They can burst tested up to 2,000 pounds, but they're really pushing the limits. And like I said, the electronics and everything, I believe they're there or pretty close. The problem that I think they're finding is the materials that we're using is not there.
Right.
So it's kind of, yeah, we got this to do this, but we don't have, and Lennox has got caught with that many times where they produce something that's got these great efficiencies. And then what happens, because of the materials that they used, is not handling what the efficiency is doing, such as they had a pulse furnace, and I don't know, maybe older people here may have heard of the old pulse furnace. Oh, they killed people, they did this. Well, yeah, people did die, but there was a air flap in the inside of these that had to be changed every 2 years. If not, the combustion air went back into the pre-combustion, and it went back and forth, so it became very acidic when it burned.
Right.
Well, the acidity rotted the heater out from the inside out. Well, why did that happen? Because homeowners didn't have their maintenance done. That was told that it was supposed to be done every year, but
It would last 2 years, do it every year,
exactly. Now,
but that gets expensive for a homeowner.
correct, but back in the day, most furnaces were 78% efficient. When the Lennox Pulse came out, it was 97.5% efficient.
So to give back what you saved.
Once again, what you saved is costing you maintenance. Just like these new cars today, you gotta do the maintenance on schedule. If you don't, you're in trouble. It's just the way it is. And a lot of the manufacturers, such as the automobiles, if you don't show proof of maintenance,
Warranty.
your warranty is goodbye.
Right.
So if you become a preferred customer, how often are you going out for this maintenance? How much has to go in the home? What can be done outside? Like, what's that
Depends
process?
on what contract you get with us.
Okay.
We have heat contracts, air conditioning contracts.
Oil.
We don't do both at the same time.
I figured that much, yeah, seasonally.
There are companies out there that will do air conditioning and heating maintenance at the same time. I don't like doing that because most of the systems out here are forced hot air, so the filters need to get changed twice a year. So I make it a point that we come out twice a year. We change the filters in the spring, we change them in the fall. We also make sure that the unit is operating properly
Yeah.
before the season starts. Some of our customers get a little upset. Oh, it's October and you haven't made it out here yet. Turn the heat on. So I won't turn, and I have some seniors, they will not turn their heat on till we're out there.
Thanks.
We find things in chimneys all the time. We find birds, ducks, squirrels, blocking the flues. A lot of times the safeties shut the unit down, luckily. There's times where we get out there and this thing's still running and the freaking flue gases are dumping in the basement, and how do people still alive in here?
Right. They wake up with a headache and they don't know why, and
It's amazing. I scratch my head. Other times a leaf gets stuck in a vent and the unit shut itself down. It's like, are you kidding? I had to search for this leaf for a half hour in a flue pipe, disturb the airflow just enough to make the unit shut down. So it depends on the contract. Sometimes we do twice a year, sometimes we do once a year, depending on what you want to have done. Air conditioning, half of it's done outside, half of it is done inside, so we got to meet both areas. Heating, obviously, everything, or 90% of the heating is done inside unless it's a heat pump, then we have to be in both spots. But
And the price varies depending upon, we also do oil. So you could have oil with a water heater and air conditioning, or just oil with a water heater. You could have heat and air, meaning gas and air. We have some people in Princeton, they only do their AC, they don't do their heater, because they have a PSEG worry-free.
bullshit.
Yeah,
And I've been on a couple of them, and I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus. I don't like talking bad about other businesses. Not good karma, but PSEG worry-free doesn't mean they're going to replace your parts with OEM spec parts. They'll get you running. I've been on cases where they pulled out 3/4 horsepower blower motors. I get on out there, customers say, oh, I don't have no, PSEG was out here in the winter time, I have a heat contract with them, I'm not getting any airflow to the second floor. I get on out there and they have a 1/2 horsepower motor in there. I says, and being a Lennox dealer, I said, there's supposed to be a 27 FO1 motor in here, what is going on? Oh, PSEG changed the motor. Well, they freaking cut 1/4 of your horsepower off the motor and you're wondering why you're not getting no throw to the second floor. So, I've seen too many problems with them. They will get your unit running, but they do not use. Now, I don't always use OEM parts, but as you notice,
But you use the right company.
but I use an OEM
That matches.
matched part. I might use a generic, but it'll have the same specs as the OEM.
Do you think they're not
Original.
original equipment manufacturer?
Yes.
Do you think they do that deliberately, just for cost?
I'm not 100% positive, but personally, I had a worry-free contract on a washer and dryer. I don't like working on appliances. My hands are too big. I don't like doing it. I don't like working on stuff where I don't have the channels to, I can go grab this, I can make a phone call, I can get order from I don't have that stuff. I specialize in heating and air. We had a dryer that had a control knob that went bad. And quick story, guy's on the phone, he goes, well, you need a new dryer. I said, the knob. Discontinued. I said, no, it's not. It's discontinued, we can't get it. We'll give you I think it was a $75 credit to go buy a new dryer. Well, this was one of the big Whirlpool, it was fairly new. And I said, no. Now, I break my stuff down, I'm like, we can get it right here. Well, that's not the right one. I go, why not? Because it's blue and we have a white knob. The red, black, blue, everything was available but the white one. So I had to go on the phone, spent an hour and a half with their supervisors, their purchasing agents, because it wasn't the right color. And whether they were going to allow it to be purchased. We pride ourselves on common sense. There's times you just can't get the right, 100% right part. You might have to convert something on over to make it right. We do that. It's just what you gotta do. So, a lot of the big guys, they'll put in a model number. If it doesn't come back with, it's discontinued, they're selling you a new unit. You may not need a new unit. It might be as simple.
Everything's a whack.
It's.
And it depends on the size of the company you work for too, where they might know it's wrong to do it, but because of their higher ups, they're forced to do it. That's just not right.
I worked for a company, they got the largest fine ever levied in the state of New Jersey against a contractor, $150,000 fine. And they were doing a sewer line and had a guy, I think he was 93 years old, out in Lakewood, and they started doing the sewer line. I said, oh no, it's just a simple block. I called up the supervisor, and the guy's texting back and forth, they had proof of everything. It's just a block, we don't need to replace the sewer line, it's a $30,000 job, this, that, and the other thing. No, just do it, I don't get what you found. And the guy's like, look, it's only clogged, it's simple, it's already fixed. No, we don't care, so they got this guy, and they made him spend the $30,000 on a new sewer line. It was a pretty long run, this, that, and the other thing. It made the papers. Serves them right. Am I 100% all the time? No. There's times you have to, in any business, customer may say they want this, and and you got to do a little something because it's not.
You're not fitting in the box.
I don't think Cynthia wants you talking about this.
But there's times you got to go a little around and skirt, because it just ain't right. Let the customer think that they got.
But you're not compromising.
No, you can't compromise. It's got to be done right. It's just the way it's got to be.